Hello everybody and welcome to the Anfield Eye. This video is pretty much a post-match analysis of our first defeat against Nottingham Forest at Anfield. Hopefully, I will be able to explain in the next few slides why I believe we were undone by Nottingham Forest, and hopefully I will also look at how Arne Slot and his team can avoid such defeats in the future, and also our upcoming matches, Champions League, Carling Cup, FA Cup. So let's start with the first reason I believe that we lost against Nottingham Forest. And lack of creativity was pretty much on the forefront. We had a lot of possession of the ball. We dominated possession, but we just were unable to create. That's a big worry. That happened a lot last season against under Jurgen Klopp. And there were a lot of occasions where we went 1-0 down early in the match, and then we came back and won 2-1, 3-1, playing under Jurgen Klopp. Now, I was hoping that with Arne Slot, that issue was going to get resolved, but I think it's going to take many, many hours on the training pitch, and it will take a lot of practice to understand Arne Slot's new system in order for the team to avoid such defeats in the future. Lack of creativity. If you look at that team lineup, we had Alisson in defense, we had Van Dijk, we had Konate, we had Robertson, we had Trent Alexander-Arnold in defense, we had Diaz, we had Szoboszlai, McAllister, we had Salah, Jota, Gravenberch. And that was pretty much the same team that played against Ipswich, Brentford, or Manchester United at Old Trafford. But why were we so amazing in those first three matches, and we were toothless against Nottingham Forest with that similar first 11? Well, we dominated possession. That is the first thing that Arne Slot said in the post-match press conference. But we only managed to create a few clear-cut chances. Now, I guess we could look at our midfield and we could say, where was our midfield when it comes to creativity, when it came to pushing into getting our forward players into passing that final deadly final ball. And I guess that there was a lack of that from our midfield. But also there was a lack of any creativity from our front players as well. So from Jota, from Diaz, from Mohamed Salah, there was just not enough intricate play between those front three. And this failure to break down Forest's defence left the team without enough attacking threat to secure a goal. Now, that is a worry. That's a big worry because on paper, I guess we have got the best front six in the Premier League. So how we could not manage to secure a goal or two goals against Nottingham Forest is something which Arne Slot and his team are going to have to address. Because we are going to come across a lot of teams that are going to come to Old Trafford and they are just going to defend. They are going to put 11 players behind the ball and they're going to say to Liverpool, you can come and you can attack us, give us your best shot. And with the quality that we have in our first 11, we should be able to hurt teams. But we did not do that yesterday, and we did not do that a number of times last season as well. And that is something, like I said, Arne Slot and his team are going to have to address. We have to be patient. Our build-up play has to be better. If we can't attack through the middle, we have to look at our attacking players from the left flank, the right flank. We have to attack from different areas on the pitch. And I think that was lacking yesterday. So that was my first point about lack of creativity in attack that cost us a defeat at Anfield. The second one, I guess we could say, is fatigue from international break. So you have our South American players, your Diaz, your Nunes, your McAllisters that went off to play for Uruguay, Argentina, Colombia. They have to travel far. They come back. This is not really any major excuse because every team in the Premier League has an international break and all of their players go and play international matches. But several key players did return from long international trips and they led to performances the likes of McAllister and Luis Diaz, and also Nunes. And this fatigue hampered the team's usual energy. Again, Trent played for England in the 2 matches that England played, and this is something which Arne Slot is going to have to address. Can we rotate? Do we have enough quality on the bench to be able to break down teams that have come to Anfield, or if we're playing away from home, have we got enough player quality on the bench? So that the players coming back from international duties can come on as substitutes and make a bigger impact rather than start the match. So that was also one of the reasons why I believe that we lost the match. We lost momentum. That international break was really a bad move for Liverpool, because we were flying high against Manchester United. I believe that if we'd have played Nottingham Forest last weekend, we would have won that match. It's just that international break came in and it took away our momentum, and then we had to start all over again. So the third point I wanted to make is about our defensive vulnerability. So we really need to be on top of our game defensively from the first minute all the way down to the 90th minute. And unfortunately, we didn't do that. We struggled in key moments, particularly Conor Bradley. He's young, he's still up and coming. He's not the finished article, but he is going to be a regular first team 11 player for us in the future. But it was Hudson-Odoi who scored against him, and Elanga and Hudson-Odoi counter-attacking players, fast, pacey, and Conor Bradley was just a little bit too inexperienced for Hudson-Odoi. And that defensive lap really cost us. So for me, defensive vulnerability, we really have to be on top of our game defensively when we are playing at Anfield, or when we're playing in the Premier League. So the fourth point I wanted to make was substitutions. The substitutions were ineffective, unfortunately. So we had Diaz come off for Gakpo. We had McAllister come off for the young lad, Conor Bradley, and also we had Jota coming off for Nunes. And fortunately, Gakpo and Nunes came on and they just didn't make the impact that we were really looking for. They really need to learn to create things, create moments. But they heavily relied on the ball being played into their feet, and then for them to go on and do something which they were unable to do. Our attack became increasingly predictable. We were unable to break Forest's solid defence, especially in the second half. And that was a bit frustrating, really. We have a very good bench, and on paper. So the players that come off the bench, they have to come on and they have to make an impact. They have to really change the game. We had players in the past that would do that. If Jota was coming off the bench, Jota scored 70 times coming off the bench. And in the past, we've had really quality players come off the bench and score goals. Taki Minamino is also a player that I remember. He used to come off the bench and score for Liverpool, make an impact. Impact players we need. And Nunes and Gakpo and Conor Bradley just failed to make an impact yesterday. They have to do better. So that was, for me, the fourth reason why we were undone against Nottingham Forest. But we got to give credit to Nottingham Forest because they had a counter-attack. When they came to Anfield, that was going to be how they were going to play. And that's exactly how they executed their game. Counter-attack, particularly when they scored the winning goal through Hudson-Odoi. Liverpool's inability to score with these counter-attacks was a major factor in their defeat. We really need to be better. We really need to play better. We need to be on our game. And unfortunately, we just did not do that. And then if we're not going to play good, I understand that. We're not going to play good. But we then need to defend as a unit. Not lose a match. Let's draw a match. Let's keep it 0-0. Let's keep it 1-1. But not go down 1-0 and then, because our attack was just toothless throughout that 90 minutes. We could have still been playing that match today and we would have scored. and that's the frustration as a Liverpool fan. So what is coming up now? What is Arne Slot going to do? This is our first defeat of the season. We need to now come back stronger, and we need to play in similar style that we were playing before the international break. The next steps are critical as they aim to bounce back from their defeat to Nottingham Forest. And for me, the next fixture will be against Bournemouth. We have Bournemouth at home on September the 21st, followed by an away match against Wolverhampton Wanderers. And these matches are again going to provide an opportunity to regain that momentum in the league. Had we beaten Nottingham Forest, the match against Bournemouth and Wolverhampton Wanderers would have been a little bit more easier. But because we suffered a defeat against Nottingham Forest, now the pressure is a little bit high against Bournemouth and Wolves. So the boys need to get on that pitch, and they need to really deliver for the fans. And then we have the UEFA Champions League coming up, which begins on the 17th of September. And it starts with an away match against AC Milan. And believe you me, AC Milan would have seen that match against us playing Nottingham Forest, and they would have thought, okay, maybe we'll do the same thing. Maybe we'll put 11 players behind the ball and we'll hit Liverpool on the counter. So Liverpool will need to sharpen their tactics quickly as they face Bologna as well early October. And our next match is against AC Milan in the Champions League. Liverpool also need to contend with the League Cup match against West Ham on the 25th of September. That will offer a chance to rotate the squad and manage fatigue. And we have a good squad. We have a strong bench. I believe that we have enough quality for first team players to be rested and the bench players to come on and make an impact. So this would be a good opportunity for Curtis Jones. It will be a good opportunity for Nunes. It will also be a good opportunity for Cayman Kelleher to come on and to make a good stake to start in the first 11 in the Premier League. And then also squad management is going to be key for Arne Slot. Given the tight schedule, he has to address the issues like squad fatigue and tactical shortcomings exposed by Forest. And we have to really address that issue that was so evident at Anfield yesterday. Slot will need to find solutions to breaking down teams defensively and also breaking down defensively compact teams, as teams like Forest have exploited, and they showed that yesterday, packing the midfield and defending as a team. We need to learn how to attack teams that come to Anfield and defend. Have no intention of scoring, have no intention of winning, and the teams are going to come to Anfield and they're just going to defend 11 players behind the ball, and they're going to try to hit us on the counter. So that's my analysis for the match we have just witnessed at Anfield. Hopefully, if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I will speak to you in the next video. Thank you so much, everybody. Bye for now.